Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Heather Crawford. As of tonight, 13 transgender people have been killed nationwide, according to the Human Rights Campaign. 3 of them right here in the city of Jacksonville. Now, the latest victim still unnamed after she was found shot to death at this motel on the Southside this afternoon. And tonight, LGBT activists tell us they're not just mourning her death, they are demanding that her killer be brought to justice. First Coast News' Lana Harris is live tonight outside JSO headquarters with the latest. Lana?
Yeah, Heather, and the hotel where this shooting happened was just feet away from a JSO substation. But it's just as you said, these activists in our community want justice for these women. In fact, they tell me that they have been concerned for the safety of the transgender community for weeks now.
Police tape surrounds this Quality Inn on the South Side, where investigators say a transgender woman in her 20s was found shot to death.
This isn't something that should be considered normal.
For Christina Kittle, it wasn't normal when the first 2 transgender women of color were shot and killed within months of each other here in Jacksonville. Celine Walker on February 4th and Antashay English on June 1st.
People are dying. This is very serious.
That's why she went to a city council meeting just days ago and spoke about what seemed to be a pattern.
I just wanted to bring to the council's attention the crisis that we're having basically with Black trans women being killed in Jacksonville.
It even garnered the attention of Councilman Garrett Dennis.
Do you think, or the transgender community think that there's a serial murderer out there?
When there's back-to-back murders and in the same kind of fashion, it's the same targeted group, it raises a lot of concern.
Concern that's only gotten worse after another transgender woman was found dead at this motel in Bay Meadows Sunday afternoon.
Their lives do matter.
Kittle is a community activist, and right now she says a lot of the people in the LGBTQ community are on edge.
They're just scared to go out. If I would be scared too.
Near the scene of the most recent killing, we asked JSO Homicide Sergeant David Smith if they're looking into any ties between the shootings.
This one is in its very early stages. I don't have any information on any other investigations.
Kittle says she just wants to make sure these murders aren't looked over.
Even if they don't have the answers, they need to have the sense of urgency about finding them, and we need to start taking these lives seriously.
JSO says they believe they are looking for a suspect with a beige car. So if you know anything about this, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous if you do that. And there is going to be a rally for transgender activism this Wednesday at 7 o'clock at the Duval County Courthouse. Reporting outside of JSO, I'm Lana Harris, First Coast News on your side.